Yo, what's up to everybody out there? Welcome to another edition of the Roundtable Talk, and I am your host C Money. And in this episode, we are doing hotspots in South Florida. Maybe it could be history in South Florida, but I'm gonna do hotspots in South Florida. We're gonna take you into the history of Gwen Cherry Park. Not really the history, but the area surrounding Gwen Cherry. Now, I'm going to give you a little bit of background. Gwen Cherry is a park in the Miami-Dade, Liberty City area. But now I tried to find some information on the park, whether it's, if you Google it and look up Wikipedia, they give you this whole thing about Gwen Cherry in another language. So I really couldn't get much on Gwen Cherry. And the website for the Miami-Dade parks, you really don't have enough information to say what anything is, about Gwen Cherry. So, I can't tell you the year that it opened up. I know this park has been here for over 50 years, I might say. I know it's been here for a minute, so I can tell you that. Now, the reason why I'm doing this park, because I want to also talk about a comparison between the Miami-Dade and the Broward parks. Now, and plus, I want to give you a thing that there's two types of parks in Miami as well as Broward. Miami has city parks and county parks, which is, I'm going to give you, before I get into that, this is the exercising area, for like some of the exercising equipment they have here. Miami has city parks and county parks. This park, Gwen Cherry, is owned by the county. You have, cities like, if you've seen the video we did a while back for the city of Opelika, that's a city park, because it is the city of Opelika. They have Shabundi Park. They also have another park called Ingram Park, which I've never been to, but I will probably visit sometime soon. Yeah, and a lot of these cities like Hialeah, Miami Gardens, some of these parks, they have their own parks to where, okay, you can go, they have their own parks that are not part of the city. Like City of Miami, they have their own parks. This is actually a county park that sits in the Liberty City area, because the county also has parks that sits in the Liberty City area. This is the tennis ball area, or tennis playing area, of course. We're going to take you on a tour. We'll also give you a little history about the surrounding areas, because there has been, drastic changes, and they're still doing some drastic changes around the area of the park. Now, if anybody knows the actual year that this park opened up, I greatly appreciate it. You can comment. You can also put at the bottom of the page, you can email me or whatever, because, I try to do my research on this park. The Wikipedia normally tells me a lot about things. Now, this park was named after Gwen Cherry, which was a politician back in the day. She was a Florida politician, and she died in the 70s, and eventually this park became named after her. Her name was Gwen Cherry. You can look her up, because it does give you information on her, but it also, has information, Gwen Cherry, if you look up there. I tried to look on the park's website as well too. It doesn't give you much about, it doesn't tell you about the park itself. Now, this park is divided into two sections, and we're going to get to the other section as we take a walk through here. This is a little bit of the parking area. This is partially the parking area for the playground, which is over here, and also this is the newly football field. As you can see, it looks new. I mean, it's been here for years, but you can tell that this football field is new. We're gonna take you where the old football field used to sit at, back there, and this is the playground. Now, I don't know if this is where the playground no. Actually, this is a new playground. The original playground sat over in this area here, near where the football field and everything is at. This is where the playground sat at, because I remember years back ago, the playground used to be over here in this field, but this is a newly playground. They have several things. They also have a little zip lining right here. I tried to use it one day, but of course I couldn't actually, because I was too scared to use it, because it's not one of them zip lines where you have things that you can hold on to, like you have clips and stuff, just in case you fall off. No, you're just holding on to it, and you're zip lining from one end. You zip line from here, and you go to here, and and stuff like that. So now, we're gonna come over here to this area. Now, this is what you're supposed to be called the amphitheater, where I'm guessing. Now, if I didn't give you the understanding that the building that we did walk by in the front, if you can see the building that's over there in front of the football field, that's the NFL YET Center. That's the new recreational center that they have here. I'm gonna show you what the old recreational center is, but that is the new NFL YET, or as most people call it, the NFL YET recreational center and playground, and stuff like that. That's where we're gonna go to the old recreational center, which is much smaller. This is the amphitheater, and here, if you hear the motor running or the running of the in there, you can automatically say that this was the concession stand. This was, I guess, the seats here, and that was probably the stage. And this is a big old field now, and I really don't know what this building was, but I know it has something to do with the amphitheater, because there is a call box over here, an emergency call box, and it'll tell you that the call box, if you use the call box, I believe they probably took the call box from here. Yeah, they took the call box from here, because it used to be like an emergency call box. And it actually, I'm going to show you what emergency call box would say. It actually sat right here where this little stoop is at, right here. And they just recently did this, because I came out here a while back and they just recently did this, and it said that this, if you tell them you're at the emergency call box that's near the amphitheater. So technically this is the amphitheater. Now, the one thing that really makes this park a bad situation, when it rains, this lake can overflow and it can flood out the areas of, when there's severe weather, this lake can overflow and flood out. Because you see how high the lake is, you see how the water is already look like it's to the top. When it rains, it overflows and it can come up this way. Now, one thing I said that they should do with this lake, they should make it into an area that's useful. Because one thing I want to say, a lot of the Broward parks are more upgradable and have upgrades than Miami-Dade parks. You have most Broward parks, they have, if you've seen my video of Welby Park, where they have the safety town, there are several other parks that do have safety towns as well. I'm going to be visiting them parks as well. And then you also have, they have what you call them, water parks as well. There are several water parks in different Broward County and their parks are open basically year round, weather permitting. The pools here are just regular pools, and we're probably gonna walk by the pool here. And the pools are regular pools, and they are only open during the summertime. Like when the kids are out of school, it'll be something for the kids to go to, whatever. I mean, it only cost them like maybe $1 or so. I know at one point it was costing 50 cents, but now it may be costing like $1 or so. Now, this area here, this vacant, empty, big area here, this is a part of history as well. This was the Scott's housing projects. Now, if any of you know that back in the 90s and early 2000s, this was called the Scott projects. This street here is called a one-way. It really doesn't have a really named street. I'm guessing it's 71st Street. But this is called a one-way because, it's one way in, one way out. This is what people call it. And this is also a one-way. There's rocks there because apparently there was doing construction here. And and there was a bit of construction that was supposed to come through here. Now I'm gonna walk down this way first, and then turn around and come back, because this will be a clear view of the area I wanted to show you. Yeah, this is called a one-way because it's one way in, one way out. Normally this is the street that they use like when they are doing like football games and stuff. They have a gate opener there, and the people park in the parking lot here at the recreational center, and then they open the gate there so the people can park in the field. But back in the 90s and the 80s and the early 2000s, this was a housing project called the Scott Projects, and there was a lot of, project housing here. Years ago, maybe about 20 plus years ago, in the mid 2000s, they started tearing down and moving people out to make more developments, and and make better better projects, better apartments and stuff like that. They are calling it now the New Scots. But this area, I don't know if they're going to use this area for the projects and building more homes and stuff like that. But I know that this was part of the urban projects, the Scots Project, which was probably named after Captain James E. Scott, which is also I really don't know too much about him, and because I know the street that we was on, which was 22nd Avenue, is named Captain James E. Scott Avenue and stuff like that. Now over here, if you see the two goal posts, this is where the old football field used to be, and it's also connected to the baseball field, because there is a baseball field here and there is one over there on the other side. Now, when they built the new football field in the NFL Yet Center, they started discontinuing using this football field here, because I'm guessing in the NFL sponsored this, because it's called the NFL Yet Center, and so I'm guessing they started sponsoring it. So they built the new football field that was closest to the new recreation center. We're gonna walk over there, because this is the second part. Now, one thing that I know about this park, a lot of people uses this part to get from one street to another, because there are some parks in Miami that are broken up into two sections. Some of them are literally broken up to where you got one part, on one side, then you have to go a couple of streets down, and then the park continues. Just like what happened when I was in Georgia. If you seen my video traveling with Georgia, and we went to the Wellston Trail, which led to the Fountain Park, you saw that the trail actually goes through an actual neighborhood, and you have to go through streets after streets to get to the continuing park. Here it's not like that, but that street that we was on where the playground is at, that is normally the street people take to get from one side to the other. Now, this is also an area that they don't not use, because this is where, I don't know what the construction they were supposed to be doing here, because I know around during like the beginning of COVID, there was a lot of, this was a little road for the construction people to go in and back and forth with. Over here, there was a little road, and then at one point people started using the road to get back and forth through the one way, and then they eventually blocked it off with a gate and everything, and a wooden fence to where people couldn't get through, and it was also a walkway for people. Now in that field, I warn you, there are coyotes that live in that field. I've been told that there are coyotes that live in the field, but they don't come out in the daytime. And as you know, I've been told coyotes are more afraid of you than you are of them. But just don't walk out here with your animals, because I've heard the coyotes, they do like to roam the park at night searching for food. But I don't know how that is. Now this is one of the baseball fields I was telling you about. There's some bleachers right there that sits over the grass. Now this part of the park is not used as much. Well, they don't use that part of the park at all, because as you can see, this is blocked off by construction gates. And you can tell this is construction gates because you see the green lining that sits on these gates. So you can tell this is like a construction gate area. You see over here, there's some more bleachers that's been turned over, and that's the dugout for one of the baseball fields. Now I know they don't really use this baseball field because there are several other parks around in the area that has baseball fields. This is another part of the park that they don't use. Now this is one of the pump stations for Miami-Dade Water and Sewer Department. Miami-Dade Water and Sewer Department pump station 1330. This is a pump station for Miami-Dade. Now this part of the park they use, but certain parts. Now we're coming up to the back part of the park. Remember I told you this is the area, like to get to 27th Avenue, a lot of people come through this way and come out to get to the area. Now if you see some of the cars here, those are cars from people who work in the warehouses. In the morning times, they come out and they park their cars here and they go work into the warehouses over here. Now, this is the original recreational center. Now, it's not as big as the new one there, but this was the original recreational center over here. And it sat really by the football field and stuff. Now, I can't tell you how the original football field looked because I wasn't a very frequent visitor here. Remember, I'm originally from Opelika. This is Liberty City. So when I was younger, I didn't come out to the Liberty City parks. You know, Subundi Park was basically my park, and we didn't have we had a small recreational center. Now they have a big recreational center, and it's the same with here. They had a small recreational center. Now they have a big recreational center in the front of the park, and this is also blocked off, and this was called the Gwen Garden Club or Garden Center. I think I can, let me see if I can get close to the sign, because the sign says, I went back here one time and I said it's like the Gwen Garden Club or the Gwen something. No, Gwen Community Garden. That's what it's called, the Gwen Community Garden. You're not going to be able to see much of it because, it's fenced off, stuff like that. But I wanted to get it in depth, and that was probably, that little small building right there was probably the ball storage room for baseball and football and stuff like that. I'm quite sure they still have stuff in there. It's just that, and they have, bathrooms and stuff as well over there too. You can see one of the exercising people, because they come out here in the morning times and sometimes in the afternoon. They come out here and they exercise as well. So now we're going to take you over here too. Now the one thing that is different and unique about this park is everything is centered around everything. Like how I told you the football field is in the middle of the baseball field, because you have a baseball field right here and then you have another one on the other side, and in the middle is the football field. It's the same thing over here. When you come over here, now you have the track area. Now the track is normally used for people who exercises in the area. And one of the things about this track area, look what's in the middle of the track area. You guessed it, it is a basketball court. Now, why there's a basketball court in the track area, I do not know. And why there's a basketball court in the middle of the track area, that's funny, and I do not know. Now, if you see in the back of the basketball court in the track area, there is railroad tracks. Those are the railroad tracks. I believe CSX, if I'm not mistaken, those use those railroad tracks. And also, Tri-Rail uses those railroad tracks. Remember I told you Tri-Rail, if I haven't told you, Tri-Rail has new service from downtown Miami. They also use those tracks as well. Now, these basketball courts are here as well. But I always wonder, why did they have the basketball courts in the middle of the track area? Now, I don't know if they still use this track area for track meets and stuff like that, but I know that, people use it. Like the lady here, she's walking and exercising on the track area and things like that. So I don't know. And then now we're gonna come over here to the aquatic area, which is the Gwen Cherry Pool. Now, this is the only pool that I know of in South Florida or in Miami that has a splash pad area in Miami. Like, I know there probably is splash pad areas in other like parks and stuff like that, but for this park, this is the only one that I know of, especially in Liberty City, that has a splash pad. So we're gonna take a walk over here to this part. Like I said, you got the construction workers over here. They park their cars here, and then they walk over to the construction area to work, because this is like using the parking area. That's the splash pad. So we're gonna go over here to the front of the pool. Now, what I want is, I would want to see more activities at the Miami parks. Like some of the Miami parks, they have, paddle boats, they have, so as you saw when I did the video Hotspots in South Florida, when I did Amelia Earhart, they have paddle boats there, but they only open on certain days and certain times and stuff like that, and they had the little train ride and stuff like that or whatever. But here, a lot of these parks, they only have pools, and these pools are only open during the summertime. Like I looked on their site, they say this pool is only open during the summertime. Apparently they're doing construction. They're tearing down this what used to be a warehouse. This is a splash pad area, and this is the pool area of Gwen Cherry. I don't know how much the pool is. We're gonna go into the front, and then we're gonna turn around and come back. And then as you go out this way, you're gonna go into 27th Avenue. And that's why a lot of people, they cut through here, but at nighttime they close off the 22nd Avenue entrance of the park. Now the one way in and one way out is basically the one way. They don't have a gate for that, but the little gate that goes, that when we first started and we was walking through, that's the one that they normally close at 10 o'clock when the park closes, and then they reopen that back up at like around maybe 6:30, because I know the park opens up around 7 and stuff like that. I don't know when they really open it back up, but I know they open it up. So now we're gonna come out here and we're gonna take a look at the park area from this view. You may not get a clear view of the park area, but they have 4 water fountains and stuff like that. So this is the park view area. I mean the pool area of the park. I don't think I got the sign of the park or the sign of the pool area, but we're gonna get it as we walk back. This is Gwen Cherry Pool. Now a lot of these pools are just regular pools. They do have a water park pool that I visited it, and it's the Blackbeard Water Park, and it's near the airport. It's off of 37th Avenue and the 836 Dolphin Expressway. I've been there one time. It's nice. They have a lazy river and everything. I'll probably go back there soon if I can and do a show there. But a lot of these parks, their pools are not open every day, and I'm quite sure that pool is not open every day either. And that's one of the things I want to see. I want to see more amenities, like I told you with the lake that was there up there. They could have turned that into where the kids can have paddle boats and paddle boat around the lake and stuff like that. You could have made money off of it, because they do charge people, for those paddle boats. Like the Broward parks, they have paddle boats. Most of them have paddle boats. They have safety towns. They have, water parks. They have a lot of these amenities, just like Amelia Earhart when we did that, which is a county park as well. They have a snack area where you can buy snacks and stuff like that or whatever and stuff like that. And I did buy some snacks, because a lot of people come out there. They come out there and picnic. This don't really have pavilions, but they do have benches, even though the benches are scattered out, and most of the benches are not near any grilling areas, because I don't think they have a grill out here. I have to go and see if they have any grills, but by the time we get back over to that way, it'll be time for the show to wrap up. But I know they don't have any grills. We're taking another look at the track and basketball court area, which I'm quite sure they use that, because I know a lot of people probably come out here and play basketball who lives in the area and stuff like that. And on the other side of the tracks, if you was to walk across the tracks and go to the other side, that's the continuation of the Scott project. Now they do have apartments and housing over there, and of course they have some on the across the street from 27th Avenue. On 27th 22nd Avenue. When you first started the video, if you cross the street, they have housing over there. Now further north of this part, they have the apartments, but across the street from the apartments is the housing. That was also part of the Scott projects, and they built houses and they also built apartments. So that's one of the things that they was doing. They was revamping it into, you know, making apartments and houses, and hopefully it's affordable for everybody and stuff like that. So now we're gonna walk back over to, I know the sun is out, so I'm trying to see everything. We're gonna walk back over this way. Now what they're doing with this construction, as I said, I don't know what the construction of the park is doing or what is there. They're going to revitalize the I don't know if they're going to revitalize the baseball field, because this has been like this for a few years now, and I don't know if they're actually making plans to renovate. I don't know what they're going to do with the old recreational center, you know, since they got the new recreational center, and I don't know, like, what are their plans for the remainder of this park. But as of right now, it just sits as a vacant area and it doesn't get used. It don't get used by nobody. And of course you have diesel trucks like these that come through the area because they come to these, there's a church over there, as you can see. If you can see the top of the thing, there's a church over there. But a lot of these diesels, they come over here to these warehouse areas because they work over here. So a lot of this stuff, you know, so if you know any information about this park, let me know. Like I said, I can't tell you when the park opened up because of this, obviously there's no information on the park, you know, and mostly I get my sources from Wikipedia and online searching. But I even tried to, you know, Google when was Gwen Cherry Park open. It said it opened up in 1997, which I know is not a lie, because Gwen Cherry Park's been open way before that. You know, it's probably when the NFL Jet Center probably opened up, or that's probably when they, you know, started making changes to the park. But this park ain't opened up in 1997, because, you know, this is different. Because, you know, this is a lot of feel. So if you know anything more about this park, you know, comment. Email me, roundtable00@yahoo.com. And also you can comment at the bottom of this page and stuff. It is, you know, as you can tell, it's early in the morning and it's bright because, you know, the sun is out. And I wanted to get a touch up of one of the parks because I want to do a comparison from the Miami-Dade parks to the Broward parks. You know, I can see from down there, it looks like somebody is going to open up the gate. If they're going to open up the gate. Well, if they're not, they're not. But it looks like one of the workers are probably going to open up the gate for parkers. Well, I don't know. It just looks like one of the workers are out doing their work. But yes, this is Gwen Cherry Park. This is off of Northwest 71st Street and 22nd Avenue in the Liberty City part of Miami. Yes, I see a lot of the benches, picnic tables here, but I don't see grills for the picnic table. So I'm guessing you can't really grill out here. And I don't know what that little thing is for right there. I guess that's a ping pong table, if I'm not mistaken. So okay, so this is Gwen Cherry Park. This is hot spots in South Florida. I can always and also history South Florida, because this is part of history. You know, we talked about the Scott projects, housing projects that was here as well. So if you have any information about it, you can comment at the bottom of this page. If you have any pictures that you would like to show, yeah, show the pictures. If you lived in the Scott projects and you want to, you know, share your stories about the Scott projects, because when they was tearing them down to make way for the new Scott project, they made everybody, most of the people that was there, they gave them vouchers, because Scott projects was like for Section 8 people, and most of them, they end up moving down south, or some of them had to relocate to other areas. So that's the thing. So if you know anything about it, just let me know. It is time for our show to wrap up. I thank you for watching this episode. I appreciate y'all for watching all of my shows. I love all of y'all to death. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, Don't forget to comment at the bottom of this page if you know anything about this episode. If you have any previous episodes that you want to talk about, you can comment at the bottom of the episode. You can also email me roundtable00@yahoo.com if you have any local hotspot in South Florida that you will want me to cover, because I'm in South Florida. That would be lovely as well too. I'm open up to doing more hotspots. I'm going to local hotspots. I did this park because I just wanted to give you an overhaul view of what some of the Miami-Dade parks look like. They don't look like this because of the construction, but of this park. But most of the parks, they are like this. They don't really have too many amenities, but they have some amenities where it looks, you can go and play, in the playground, or you can go and do certain things, but they don't have too many amenities like Broward parks, because we will be visiting in the upcoming weeks some of the other Broward parks as well. This is the Roundtable Talk. I am your host, C Money. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay hydrated, and I will see you in the next episode. Take care.